This is probably an isolated incident, but you never know. If one dealership has done this, maybe others have done it before and haven't been caught. There's a dealership, or was a dealership, in Concord, New Hampshire, where the president of the dealership, who recently was awarded the Automotive News 40 Under 40 award just a few years ago, now has to pay $1.25 million in a deceptive practices settlement. This guy now has to reimburse the Attorney General's $49,000 in legal fees, hire an independent compliance monitor to review and report on its business practices for the next 5 years, record audio and video of financing discussions between employees and customers, pay restitution to 2 different customers who were victims of deceptive practices, implement staff training program to educate them on state consumer protection laws. This is pretty bad. So the Consumer Protection and Antitrust Bureau was investigating this guy based on a high volume of consumer complaints filed between 2019 and 2021. By the way, this guy won that 40 under 40 in 2018. The Bureau found dealership employees, quote, persuaded customers into purchasing vehicles they could not afford using deceptive sales practices, falsely inflating consumer income information on loan applications, and even forged the signature of a customer on a loan paperwork. So I'm not saying that this happens a lot or at all besides this one case right here, but be aware that these are scams in a way, that dealerships are kind of working around people who can't afford or who are not actually qualified to buy a car. They're doing this. He did this. And now he's got to pay for it. So here's what happened. According to the Attorney General, the dealership enrolled customers with poor scores in a credit repair or credit rehabilitation effort known as the program. That's what they called it. It was a 6-month financing program used when a customer told that dealership they couldn't afford the payment terms. Customers were informed they qualified for this program, and if they paid their car loan on time for 6 months, their credit score would improve and the terms could be refinanced. But it was nothing more than a sales pitch, empty promises not affiliated or endorsed by any bank, despite the dealership saying that it was, so they flat out lied. Instead, customers were left with loans that they were unable to pay for. In addition, this guy at the dealership, the president of his dealership, was inflating the incomes of the potential borrowers on their loan applications to increase their approval chances with the lenders. If a borrower was denied funding, the dealership would often resubmit their application with a higher monthly income than the customer actually had in order to win approval. This investigation actually found one instance of a loan document with a forged customer signature. The dealership employee there who forged that signature also enrolled that customer in insurance products they previously had refused. So this president of this dealership was recognized prior to this incident being discovered for doing really well as a car salesman or a car manager of this dealership. He had a previously monthly sales number of 25 vehicles per month. He grew those sales to 137 units a month within 5 months of being there. So that's why he got this award of being one of the best 40 under 40 automotive dealerships. No surprise here, the dealership representative refused any comment when attempted to be reached by phone about this situation. Either way, it is just one example of how dealerships can be a little shady, a little sketchy, working the system to sell you a car that you can't afford. So be firm. If you can't afford the payments, don't listen to what they're saying with, hey, we can put you in a new program to help work out these payments. If you do well, we'll make sure things work out for you in the long run. But in the meantime, just sign this right here. We'll get you going. We'll sell you a car. And yeah, your payments might be a little high right now, but you'll be able to afford it later. Just don't believe that crap. And now this guy has to pay over $1 million in this settlement because he was enrolling deceptive practices to sell people cars. Just not worth it. One final note, if you are in the market for a new vehicle soon, great. Connect with your local dealership and price and test drive at least 3 different vehicles. A vehicle's strengths and weaknesses can only be discovered when you are behind the wheel. My reviews can be good, but you need to test drive these yourself. Visit quotes.everymandriver.com, select the make, model, and your zip code, and you'll get invoice pricing in your area on those vehicles. Shop smarter with price quotes at quotes.everymandriver.com.
Thanks for watching. Please click subscribe and give us a thumbs up. See you next time.